Right. Hello. Can you all hear me? I am here. Wait for a few of you to jump on whilst sharing it far and wide. At least I would if I could find it. Here it is. Share. Changing career? Question mark. Watch now. Share. Hello, Liz. Right. Now that we're going, I might as well start. Hello, everybody. I hope that you are feeling the Monday and you're ready for a new week, whatever your week looks like, whether you are at home, whether you are an essential worker or a key worker, and having to go in and do the tasks that you would normally do. Thank you very much from me and from everybody. Today, well, first of all, before I go into the topic of today's, which is going to be about a career change, which is a question from Mary. Thank you, Mary. Just want to say thank you so much for the response to the anticipatory grief one that I did, which was on Friday. It's been really well received. I've had a lovely message recently in the last couple of minutes or so about how it really helped two friends of mine come to terms with how they're feeling and what they're doing. And it's nice to have the opportunity to provide some commentary as to why people are feeling a certain way. I was just going to see if I could find it, see if there was any gems in there. Not really, but it ended with, "It's a funny old time, looking forward to sharing a drink," which I'm very much looking forward to doing as well. But yes, if anyone has any further questions on anticipatory grief or the article that was shared, it's on the post, which will be below this one when it's saved up. So have a look in the comments because I shared the entire article. So today, the question has been posed about changing career. And I was going to have my sister with me, who's older than me, to talk about this in more detail, but she's currently busy. But that's fine. I'm going to tell you about my story and tell you about some of the things you need to, some of the things which I've considered when looking at different changes of career and things that may hopefully help you. I'm going to clear the chair next to me, so if Abigail does join, at least there won't be much faffing going on there. I'll just faff around now. So, as has been the case with a lot of people over these last week one of quarantine, people are reflecting on their life, and people are thinking, well, who am I? What do I do? What's my purpose? Who do I live for? What brings me joy? What brings me sadness? What gets me frustrated? And people are figuring all these things out that they may or may not have been aware of beforehand, and it's all at the fore now because a lot of people have got far more time to talk about. Hello. I started without you.
Oh, sorry.
But you're more than welcome to join in. I've cleared your chair.
Did you actually clear it for me?
I've genuinely, when you watch this back, you'll see that I've cleared it.
Shall I do a cup of tea?
You can put on
Where we have a little chat?
You can put the kettle on it. There you go.
Good evening, everybody.
There you go. This is Abigail for any new viewers.
I know, make us a hot drink.
A hot drink. Well, I'll carry on. So I was just saying, Abigail, about this time of reflection. There's people thinking, who am I?
Yes.
What's my purpose? Who am I for?
Yeah.
And what are the things that give me joy and enjoyment in my life? And what they might have realised is, at the moment, they might not be living true to those values, Abigail.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. So, with the question posed about what should I do now, there's probably a few people pondering a change of career. There's also some people that haven't got a choice. Liz says hello.
Hello, Liz. Happy birthday, Liz.
Indeed, I was going to get to that. So there's a few people. No. But I'm glad that you brought it up. So for anyone who's watching live right now, can you all comment "Happy Birthday, Liz"? Because it's her 30th birthday today, and she's at home. So on her own. So if everyone could just put "Happy Birthday, Liz" in the comments, I'd be very grateful. You could put all the emojis in the world under there as well. the cats with heart's eyes works quite well because it's a cat TED. So by all means, you can go and do that now. And kettle's boiling. We're talking about values and whatnot. So what can we do? So I know that I'm a sucker for changing my role. So although I've been at my current organisation for 7 years, I've had 4 roles in that time. So I typically change my job every 18 months to 2 years, which I like because I like building. I don't like getting comfortable. I don't like staying in the same place. So for me, changing roles within one place is the best fit for me. And that all started from, we go even further back to when I finished my degree. I didn't go on and do the further training. Because of the recession, 2008, 2009 even, it was the year after the big recession. And I ended up volunteering at my local Citizens Advice Bureau whilst working in a kitchen. And whilst I was volunteering there to upskill and to learn more about law and about becoming a solicitor, pretty much, they offered me a full-time job, which was part of the legal commission. Yes, Mary. And from that full-time job, I then got a job in a solicitor's firm in Cardiff because I wanted to see whether or not I could cut it in an actual firm. And I joined there as a supervisor, so I went in there and supervised the team on their benefits section, and then from there I moved to the charity that I'm at now. But all of those things were very much looking at legal advice and looking at social welfare law. When I first joined the charity, I was looking after a region, the Iron Bevan Health Board, which had hopefully less numbers of coronavirus than they did the day before. So that's good. There we go. Here's how we go. There we go. And we're matching t-shirts.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Nothing rude on the mug.
No.
Oh,
I was tempted.
It's very social.
That's why I did it.
Thank you very much.
Mine's Lapland. I love Lapland.
See if I could cut it in a solicitor's firm, and then we're in the charity now in Bevan. And whilst I was there, being stuck in one corner of Wales didn't really work with me. And then a project came up which was called the Man Van, which was an all Wales service. And I was like, I want to see what it's like developing a service over the whole of the country. So I did that for 2 years. I then had to become a morning person because the van would leave the yard at 6. That wasn't me. And did that for 2.5 years. And then I realised that was a fixed term project. And I knew that was going to come to an end. And I wasn't feeling that. Underneath.
Lift up a bit.
Oh, you can just go. There we go.
So we were slating all the news reporters today.
We were.
Saying that they were like that.
They're all like this. Oh, yes, and this is really important.
So we feel that this is better.
Is that better?
I think so,
happy?
Don't you?
Thank you very much.
There
we go. And I realised that after 2.5 years of being on the Man Van was still the same legal advice, and I wasn't content with leaving the organisation with the same skills that I joined. So I left the Man Van 6 months early, and I applied for a role within the charity as a community development officer, which was a UK-wide role. And it wasn't legal advice. It was the first time that I hadn't been a legal advisor in my professional career. Wowed my manager with 10 steps as to what I would do within my first 3 months. He hired me and then laughed at me saying, you won't get that done in the first 3 months. But I liked your vision and where you were going. So I did that. And then when that came to an end, had a bit of a wobble, and then had the opportunity to apply for the role that I've got now, which is the Activate Your Life lead, which was kind of providing casework for certain people, but it was also looking at the mental health service. It's a 4-week course. It's volunteer-led, communicating with all the different participants in different locations and different venues. And it was back to being an all-Wales service. And it was a very tangible service as well. And was able to support people all throughout Wales. And yeah, more on my career in the next couple of weeks. But I wanted Abigail to come here to talk about career changes. Serious stuff, because I don't see career change as a barrier or a battle or anything along those lines. For me, a career change it's a sign of growth, and I don't like feeling complacent in my role. I don't like the feeling of being stagnant. I always look to see how I can get up a level and to keep learning and to keep getting better. But I know that that's very much my mentality. Some people think that I'm a little bit obsessive when it comes to things like that, and if I do get something in my mind, then I'll go for it, hammer and tongs. And talking of career changes, one thing I have done is applied for a master's program in a completely different field from law, which is performance and looking at acting as well. And the pitfalls that I've had to weigh that up against is it a steady career? Where's the camera? Is it a steady career? Is there going to be cash flow? Am I still going to be able to live anywhere? Am I going to be able to eat? And all these horror stories that they give performers these days. But I want to give it a go. And I want to go to the best places, and I want to be the best at what I can do. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell. I still have fear about all those different decisions, but I know that I would rather focus on things that make me happy and vibrant and make me want to get up in the morning and be like, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm also looking at coaching people as well, which I've taken really seriously, particularly in these last 7 days. Signed up for a business group and looking at setting up how I would coach. So for those of you that are old school to this page, you'll know about the acceptance and commitment therapy, hence the I accept. Thank you, Abigail. HelloTomDyerShop.com, and the acceptance commitment therapy.
New versions are available.
Which Liz has for her birthday. Thank you. And where am I going with that? And also solution-focused approach. So now I want to see whether or not there's anybody interested in the world that would like me to kind of coach them one-on-one as a starter for I think 8 weeks is what it would kind of comprise as a starting off period, and just seeing whether or not I can do that. Can I work for myself? Can I work for other people? And can I get people results either with their mind or with their tasks and what they're trying to do to try and really help them out?
Particularly in the COVID-19 era that we're in right now, people will want to act and these kind of therapies probably coming out the other side.
Yes.
I mean, this has severely impacted every single person's life.
Very much so. And
dramatically so.
There's already been mentions of post-traumatic stress.
Yep.
And the fact that people's lives have been completely turned upside down, and it's that kind of reinvention back into what's going on. Thank you, Liz. I like that. I wore that hat yesterday on our walk.
You did.
Yeah. So I brought Abigail here. So Abigail, would you like to give your story as well, about career change and about what you've learned about yourself with a career and bits and pieces like that?
Well, what I have learned is that it's okay to also be completely content in your current circumstances. You don't always have to be that person who's striving for this, and the next thing. It's okay to be happy in a job that you feel fully content with. But a bit like Tom, I and my friends will know I am the forever student and always wanted to do something different. So I started as a teen working in our mum's care home. I helped her run that. I also fostered children as well. When that ended then, I fostered my own children in my own home. And then I went to work in an organisation that supported vulnerable people, families, particularly homelessness. And then I went on to become a substance misuse worker and tenancy support officer. But my goal has always been to become a social worker, whatever you may think of them. But it's something that I've always wanted to do. And I was given the great opportunity of becoming deputy manager at a residential home, which has just been a fantastic experience. And I was very lucky to be sponsored to do my social work degree, which I'm currently in the third year of doing at... These wrinkles are not young. Look at it. Oh, it's still there. At 38. So, and here I am in the third year on my placement at the moment with the community mental health team and loving it. But good old COVID-19 has had other ideas. They thought they could just shove a pandemic into the third year, and going through a bit of a nightmare at the moment, trying to keep my placement open. So far, so good. So that's my story in a little nutshell.
In a little nutshell. And then when you moved from the care...
Oh, and I also did a graduate diploma in law.
We shared lectures.
We did. I used to clean their bathroom and make spaghetti bolognese for them every week without fail, because their bathroom was stinking. So that's what it was. How many people were living in that house?
There were 8 of us in that house.
So that was payment for me staying there 2 nights of the week. I also did another degree, social inclusion education, with my other brother, which was a joke because all the tutors fancied the pants off him. So he did absolutely nothing for 3 years while I had to do work because I don't look like my brother, quite simply. So yeah, but it was good.
And how long were you at Pendefin for, the care home, the first one?
Until I was, I think, 28.
28. So how did you feel when that changed and you moved into a completely
I mean, I'm not
career?
sure I can swear, but I crapped my pants. Big time.
And why?
Because it was change. I had only ever worked with my mum.
Mm-hmm.
It was me, mum. We had the odd other carer that came in or a housekeeper or something like that. But it was me and mum that ran the care home together.
Yeah. So for these people that might be watching who are kind of entrenched in their role,
yes,
and they've been there for years and years and years and years, and
yeah,
they're thinking, oh, wouldn't it be great to do something else? But I can't. I'm too part
you
of the
must
fabric
take that
here.
opportunity. You
Yeah.
must. Yeah, it's really, if you really feel that strongly and you get frustrated or maybe a bit bitter or jealous that you watch people move on to other fields or go elsewhere, take that plunge. I have to say, very recently, I enjoy a good old karaoke when I'm out with my friends and family. And I took the plunge. I went on a singing workshop at the beginning of this month. Never been so nervous. And I'll do a little plug, because I know Liz knows him as well. Is it Andrew Hopkins?
That's the one. I was trying to think of the singing as well.
Yeah.
Say that again. Sorry, I talked over you.
Andrew Hopkins. He was fantastic. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. Was made to feel really relaxed. And I sang in front of people sober. It was a huge thing.
It was a huge thing.
So, yeah.
I've just seen Dion here. So each time I've changed my career, so Dion's quite new in a new role as well.
Okay.
It's been scary but wonderful too. And I like to think that stepping into the scared box is exciting. Now that's my view on it.
Face
as well.
your fears. It's good for you. It's good for your health.
Yeah, feel the fear and do it anyway. No one likes to turn up to uncertain things and uncertain people and think, oh, I don't know what to do, because there are dynamics at play. Everything already exists before you were there. But it's amazing that once you're there...
Hello, Thomas.
Hello. Oh, we had the button pressed down there. Hi, Tom. But stepping into that scary box is really, really important. And going back to ACT messaging, so Abigail's 38, and she's gone through all of these different careers, working for her mum for a long time. And
very, very long time.
Very long time. Working as support workers for 2 organisations, and then the care home. And you hadn't managed anyone before going into that.
No, I
haven't.
Home. I did proper crap my pants.
Yeah, so that was a huge leap. But
it was, so to put it in context, it's 29 residents and between 25 and 30 staff.
Yeah, and how big was your team before that? Like the one you were in?
6, and then it went down to 4.
6 down to 4.
Yeah.
So a huge leap in responsibility, a huge leap in duties and tasks, and having to be responsible for the inspectorate and things like that.
Yeah.
But you were able to face that fear and just jump into
Thank
it.
you, Tom. Bless you.
Just fluffing you up.
I know, bless him.
Doesn't look a day over 37.
Yeah, I know, that 1 year makes all the difference to me.
Oh, woo, you schmoozer.
Hey, this is no makeup, okay?
This is isolation chic. But you took on that responsibility and you kind of learned, and it was kind of building blocks. So you went in there and there were things that needed to be dealt with quickly, and then there were other things that could be dealt with afterwards.
Yeah.
And you
prioritising.
You basically broke the role down.
Yes, yeah.
But you didn't know that before stepping in.
No, I didn't. And I didn't know who the staff were going to be like. I'm related to the manager, so that was quite daunting as well, like how the staff would accept, or if the staff would accept me and that kind of thing. So, no, I was very relieved, and they are amazing staff.
They are. I've met some of them.
Yeah.
And going back to the ACT message, so whilst you're there, you've now been sponsored to do your social work degree. And how old were you when you wanted to become a social worker?
16.
16. So you waited a while.
Not my fault, but yeah.
So I waited 20 years. But looking back at ACT, there's a thing with ACT where you look at your values and you look at things that you want to commit to, and you make a goal and you make an action plan. But you're always living by your values, and you take committed action towards different bits and pieces.
Yeah.
And even though your leading was quite a long time coming,
Mm-hmm.
the actual process where you started really rolling and actually taking steps towards it probably happened 4 years ago,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yep.
4 years ago, where both of us kind of started broadening our mind as to what's possible, particularly with me doing the community development officer role and realizing that there was a whole world outside of social welfare law and ill health, and that there's opportunities everywhere.
I think that's the thing, people can get sort of trapped in a box as well.
Very much
This
so.
is what I know, this is what I do. And you don't have to. You can take those skills elsewhere.
Yes.
And that's something you need to remember.
And this is where you have to not be coy with yourself and actually give yourself a pat on the back for the skills you do have, because we're far too easy
You'll be surprised how many you have.
Yeah, we are far too keen to put ourselves down. Oh, I couldn't do that. Oh, I couldn't do that. If we had that mindset, I wouldn't have volunteered at Citizens Advice Bureau. Why would a 21-year-old want to help people for free? I wouldn't have gone to Cardiff to work in a solicitor's firm. Why would someone that's worked for a charity supervise people in a solicitor's firm? I wouldn't have gone for the man ban role and gone for an all Wales project or community development officer role and looked at an application with just shy of £1 million and then took on the role of the mental health service for an entire charity. If I believed myself when I said I didn't have skills, then I wouldn't have had any of those opportunities. Whereas I do have those skills, and I need to listen to those around me who say, that was really good what you did there, and quickly make a mental note of it and think, oh, actually, I'm quite good with people. Actually, I'm quite good at organising events. I'm quite good at seeing a day through from beginning to end and having different stop points for people and just generally guiding people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very good. Yeah. Excellent.
And of course, hi, Paul.
Hello, there's a sexy girl in the room. Jesus.
Paul definitely prefers me, though.
Ew.
Well, he doesn't.
Disappointing.
In fact, Paul, I mentioned Rebecca really well. I didn't mention by name. I have now.
Who's Rebecca?
His wife.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. He drew that.
Are you sharing or?
He drew that picture himself.
Well done, Paul.
And it looks a lot like him. Paul's also gone through massive changing in careers as well, because Paul, this guy, the one we're talking about.
Give me like a key.
He's travelled the world. In playing music, pretending to be a Beatle.
Yeah. All your friends have things.
They do, yes, and we all do. And that's another thing which we forget, is that we're not just one thing. We're lots of different bits and pieces.
We're part of lots of different organisations and fields and groups. We have lots of different identities, actually.
Yes. Oh, Mum's here.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Collie.
Collie is on the line. And our inspiration is our little mummy.
Indeed, yes.
Because she had a mega career change. In fact, she's just had another one.
Yeah.
At the right young age of 59.
It was Mum's business that you worked for.
It was.
And in the last, I don't know when she started at the last place.
3-4 years ago.
A couple of years ago, but she went straight into the hospitality business and has even set up her own, which is amazing.
Fantastic.
Look at that. Their mum's got happy birthday in. For everyone who's new, I said, could you all wish Liz a happy birthday, because it's her 30th and she's
happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And she's spending it with Ted the cat. So if you would be so kind as to say happy birthday.
I sent a card and I have also sent a present, but obviously it's not right yet. But it is in the post.
Never mind. So does anybody have any questions about the fear of changing career? So I know that one person specifically asked for us to cover this topic. I hope that what we've said so far has been helpful about confronting fears. Thank you, Dion, for commenting on that as well. Jumping headfirst into it. There's a saying in ACT which is feel the fear and do it anyway. And I'm a very strong advocate of that, because what's the worst that's going to happen? Unless you're jumping off a building without a parachute, we might get embarrassed. We might flush our cheeks. We might want to run away. Oh, Michelle's here as well.
Hello, Michelle.
Hello, Michelle. So feel the fear and do it anyway. And in fact, embarrassment and that kind of fear of judgment is probably the biggest thing that stops people wanting to do the thing they want to do.
I still feel it now. I hate phoning people in the office.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
so ridiculous.
In fact, I'm going to try and find a video. I did a video about how acting changed my life, and a lot of the topic that I talk about.
You're fine, Michelle.
Yeah.
You're good.
You've changed.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah. So the whole video, it was a Ignite Cardiff talk, so it's only 5 minutes, so I'll share that on the comment feed as well, so you can have a look at that.
It's a genuinely good video to watch. It's not boring, it's actually quite insightful.
Thank you.
That's okay, just being honest.
Thank you. But I talk a lot about how if you let fear, embarrassment, judgment lead what it is that you want to do.
Hello, Beth.
Hello, Beth. Beth, she really likes the videos and it makes me
good.
Yeah, sorry, I got really excited then.
You've got a guest appearance again today.
Yeah. Where was I? The video. And so if we let fear, embarrassment, and judgment rule us, then we're never actually going to do the things that we want to do, because we're going to pay so much more attention on the reaction and response from other people, to the extent that we don't even talk about the thing that we want to talk about, which means that we don't even know what their reaction is going to be. So we just invent these whole scenarios and communications in our head that don't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. It reminds me of a quote from a play called Art, which is, if I am who I am because I am who I am, then I am who I am because I am who I am.
Very good.
However, if I am who I am because you are who you are, then I am not who I am because of who I am. I am who I am because of who you are, which means that we're never really...
Don't define yourself by other people.
No, but we do instinctively. So
yes, I know. That's why I'm shortening it.
Well, yes, but that was profound and prophetic. It was a Russian play translated into English.
I turned into English for us.
Oh, well, thank you. Don't be judged by other people.
Cheers, mate.
Okay, a cup
Bit
of
of Lapland.
Yeah. I kind of want to see Ted now. Oh,
that's disappointing.
Liz, get on it. You could put pictures on there, can't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm very different when I'm around just Abigail, as opposed to, well, not that much difference. I used to be very different compared to when I was in different rooms, and I've grown out of that the older I've got, particularly in the last 7 years since being at Tenerife, since joining the choir, since going to my first ever audition, going to the acting workshops, and being more confident in who I am. I now care very little for the people around me, whilst also caring a lot about other people.
I think that does come with age as well. You tend to care less about other people, and you are happier in your own skin often.
Yes, so I care less about other people's opinions, but I'm empathetic to them, and I care 100% about what it is that they want to live.
I don't know, Liz.
I can't figure out how to post a picture on here. Oh, that's a shame. Never mind.
Well, Liz should just post one on your wall so Paul can get his fix.
There you go. Change is the only constant in life.
Correct.
That is true. In fact, I sent a message to a therapist friend of mine in Northern Ireland where she was saying that everything was feeling uncertain. And I said perhaps uncertainty...
Dave laughed about.
I don't know.
Dave, this is serious, okay? Serious chap.
And I said, well, perhaps uncertainty is the meaning of life. And if we embrace that, and we know that nothing's going to be the same for a day or two, and then another day or two, and then another day or two, I'd not like to be in my 20s.
I would, but with my head on.
That's true. I wish I knew now what I did. No, I wish I knew now to go back and do different bits differently. But we
But with
grow.
age comes wisdom, Beth.
Yes.
It's good.
So we grow and we adjust.
I'm full of wisdom.
And things change. And that's fine. It really is fine. And with change, we can either let changes impact us, so other things happen around us, and then we're just kind of pushed from pillar to post, or going back to the reason of this talk, we can implement that change. And if we don't like being pulled and pushed from pillar to post, then we can instigate that change, and we can start putting those baby steps and start building momentum into bigger changes that we've decided. And if none of those changes work or pay off, then that's us just, it's not the right time. Something else is going to happen. But my favorite book and my favorite quote is from a book called Zen and the Art of Happiness, which is, everything that happens in your life is the best thing that could happen to you. Because we learn so much more from the occasions of adversity and the changes that happen to us, and the changes that we implement that go right and go wrong. But every single one of them is the best thing that could happen to you, because what's the alternative?
Yeah.
Only the wisest and stupidest of men never change. Confucius.
Arrogance and ignorance
Fabulous.
are ugly.
Yeah, oh, very much so.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
But that's often people that don't change.
That's true. So keep an open mind. Think of other people and their backgrounds. If you think of how complicated our thoughts are, is that just Mum or is that everyone? Your sound just stopped. I hope not. But if you think about how complicated your thoughts are and how complicated your life is, and through your perspective, and every single moment that's got you to where you are now, that you're watching me and Abigail on Facebook Live, think, you may have never done this before, but look at the person, well, look at us two, and look at the person that you're in the room with, or the person you're going to see when this isolation's over, and just consider how complicated their life is as well.
And think what you want.
Yeah. We all have.
What do you want out of life?
Yeah, we all have dreams and desires. Go after them. Thank you, Beth. Oh, it's back now. So identify what it is you want to do. Identify what it is you want to do. Make a grand plan of what that is and what it looks like.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Do a vision board.
Love a vision board. Love it. And take one.
Print off the internet, little picture of what you want. So good. Stick it on the board.
Yeah, so that's your big
in your bedroom, and then you're dreaming it. You're seeing it.
You're seeing it, which means your actions are gonna move towards that all of the time. So have that up here, and then take one actionable step every day that gets you up to that vision. And you will get scared, you will get frightened, you will get nervous, you'll get embarrassed, you will feel all of those things. And I want you to, in each and every moment that you feel those things, I want you to think, where am I right now? And this is the mindfulness aspect of ACT, which is, I can be afraid of the future. I can be worried about what I've done in the past when I've made a fool of myself. However, here in this moment right now, I am taking steps towards where I want to be. And that's a wonderful place. And it stops you from getting too far ahead of yourself. It gives you
purpose and focus as well, which is really important.
Yeah. And Tallulah's napping.
Again.
Yeah.
So we just taken isolation to a whole new level. It's a nap time in the afternoon now.
Yeah. Talking of change, I was a maths teacher today and an English teacher today.
Thank God, because I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm a key worker. I am essential.
Before we go, because it's been over half an hour,
wow.
Does anybody have any questions that we can answer? They're still...
Ask away.
Yeah, ask away. We'll keep the clock ticking. I'll finish my cup of tea.
Enjoy my coffee. Hashtag orcs.
Oh, we're there. If there are no questions, we'll be back. If you have anything else that you would like us to talk about, I'll be back tomorrow. Perhaps you'll be back as well.
If you'd like me to be. If you'd like me to come back, I'll come back.
If you want Abigail to come back...
I'm wondering if the viewers may not like me that much.
Well,
we're quite different in our approach.
She's saying this because it's a loaded question, because the last two videos she's appeared in have been watched more by anyone else.
Hey? I didn't know that.
I told you that.
What is the wing speed velocity of an unladed swallow?
Now, you asked me this the other day and I can't remember.
Have a Google.
My script's in Cardiff. It's the line from Spamalot.
Line.
Oh, what is it? I will find out and I will tell you. But the plumage don't enter into it. If you want Abigail to come back, leave a thumbs up in the comments. If you've liked this one, I know it's been a bit more witchery, I suppose. Me and Mother.
Witchery.
Well, because we're just kind of doing it. We're going live later on. What do you think? Please go live later on.
Who? I'll do it.
Dave and Mum.
There's a car crash right there.
Mary, do you have any
Thank
questions?
you, Mary. Bless you, Mary.
I don't know if that's helped in any way, but if you do have a question, then please just plonk it down. Oh, Dion wants Abigail back.
Oh yeah.
So Dion wants Abigail back. Anyone else want Abigail back? I don't know if I can have you back with just one thumbs up.
That's awkward.
She's probably going to come back.
Offended.
Mum wants you to sing. What did you say?
No, she wants us to sing Happy Birthday to Liz.
I thought you were going to sing Big Spender.
It's not my show.
It's not my show. Colette sing. That's right, Welton. Right. If you go to David Jones and Colette Dyer, they're going to go live and they're going to sing for you. Sing before you go.
You're doing quite well, the pair of you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Mary. Mary's giving me 3 thumbs up.
Oh, well
Thomas.
done. Oh, she's on it.
All right, Mum, you're just annoying. You're clogging up the feed.
Well, shall we do it? How many people have we got watching? Right, there's a few people here. So if you're just new, we're going to sing Happy Birthday to Liz. If she knows the swallow answer, she stays.
That is grim, Paul, whatever that is.
He's still talking about spam.
Yeah, well, it sounds a bit wrong to me. It's not that kind of party, Paul, okay?
Right, you ready? Right, everybody, there's a few of you watching. We're singing Happy Birthday to Liz.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Liz. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Happy birthday, Liz.
I think we should go.
Yay!
Thank you all.
Bye.
Like, subscribe, share, all of that nonsense. HelloTomDyer.com. Bye.
That was all right.